Richardson is behind you.
Okay.
And I gotta admit, like I'm not as familiar with y'all, right? Like I follow y'all, so I'm gonna ask questions that are maybe open-ended of a no shit. But this viewer, it's free to everybody. So whoever's clicking on the internet, or maybe their algorithm dropped this in their lap because their buddy hit like, is what we're after, right? So we're just trying to connect the dots here.
Yeah.
Sell a live stream, sell a ticket,
Yeah.
and sell your personalities.
Which the one thing I would like to see from you guys too, if we can get maybe a short time at the beginning, is kind of explain your class, especially for some of those newer viewers who might not know and aren't into the truck and tractor pulling as much. I think that'd be kind of cool as long as we can get that in, PK.
You're hot. Like there's no mute button. Okay.
Yeah. So are we live now?
No.
No, we're waiting for a countdown, but they're on.
Now you can do whatever you want. We'll tell you when.
Oh yeah. I watched him look at ice cream earlier today.
I think he sells home loans. I don't know. Anybody knows he sells home loans?
So Ellie and Tony are camera guys, and then Hope in the back, and then Hope works the Hope will move as well as will travel all season. I think they're on the full tour, Tony and Ellie, and they work the trackside camera, so they'll reposition. Tony will work actually. So. You can see the track work is ongoing behind us. We brought you Trackside Live. We are bringing you this pre-pull show. We would like to thank the guys here from Ricky Rose and Julie and Doc Christian, who's brought this event to us for 31 years. We brought the guys on the set. They're going to hook later tonight. They've graced us with their presence. Joe Eater, who's pulling the Unlimited. He's later in the class. And then Travis, it looks like you are the last hook of the night. So pulling here in the past, how do you describe this track when you come out here?
This has been a good one for us. It's a Midwest track where it's that good marbly topsoil clay that we get a hold of and we can run with it.
So you run a shallower cut on your 30s, or your cut similar on your 30.5s?
Yeah, I think we're similar. Probably, I'm not going to say exact, but
right.
Joe's certainly got a little more horsepower with all the engines, when you add them up, but he's got to spin them a little harder. So, but yeah, we're very similar.
In the season leading up to this is the first time the Unlimited's come out.
Yep.
What have you been through? What have you done with your vehicle to prime it for tonight's hook?
Just an all winter tear down, put back together, a lot of nuts and bolts. Just hope everything's tight.
Massaged it. So
yep.
2-night hook.
Yep.
I think I know Joe's personality. All or none. Is that where you're at?
We run.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here to
So
run.
you're here to light it up.
Yeah.
So if somebody's tuning in right now, they can pay their $39.99 and watch it on the stream. But if they're within an hour and a half tonight, they could still get here for this ticket price, almost 100 hooks here tonight.
Yeah.
Or if they're watching from home and they're 3 hours away, they could buy the ticket and see you run tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you're going to give it all tonight, so you don't know if you'll make it tomorrow.
I'll be
You're
here.
confident.
I will be
confident.
here. Yeah.
So
Put that by your mouth. You
had mentioned that your tractor, in my notes, is you just try to keep the bomb to live.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that when you talk about the Superstock diesel class and just keep the bomb to live?
So, what we're doing is building a bomb under our hood. I've said that before and in different interviews and whatever. And what we do is we try to lengthen the fuse. We know it's going to blow. We're giving it all we got. We're stretching every limit, pushing every boundary that we possibly can. But in our race of the year, we're already trying to focus on the end. So we have to keep our eye clear on the end of the season. But also, if we don't win, we don't gain enough points. So it's a balancing act, 100%. But you just go out and try to keep everything together and put all the stars in a line.
Now, you guys mentioned that you're running for points, and you're both running for points, correct? Yeah. So do you guys come out here, are you just looking to have fun? Or are you super competitive? What's your mindset coming into this event?
I'm here to run. I mean, I drove 1,000 miles, years ago. You wanted to make sure the cooler had beer and hot dogs in it. Now it's all about, we got parts in the ceiling. We're here to run. Do we have got enough time to fix our shit for tomorrow?
Yeah.
And everybody else in the pits is the same way.
Yep.
We're serious guys, and it's we're professionals at this, and we want to make a good show for the crowd and the people.
Absolutely.
As somebody told me once, we're the actors. The producers, Full Pull, the sled operators, the promoters, they're putting on the event. We're the actors to put a show on for these fans and everybody on Full Pull Live. That's what we are here to do. But in that process, we're here to have a lot of fun. Them late nights that I've spent the last 3 weeks to a month, 10 o'clock, midnight, every single night, trying to put things together, the frustrations of going forward, 2 steps back. You ask Joe, and I know he'll attest to this, 1 8-second rocket run, you forget all that pain and suffering, and you're ready to go again.
That's right. We're ready.
I do think that's one thing that some of the viewers and people at home don't realize, the amount of time and effort that goes into something like this.
Yeah, Poland's a little bit different world. I mean, it is 100% no practice. We don't get to go out back and practice. We don't get to go to a test drag strip, a test NASCAR track. We're 100% no practice.
Yeah, there's no heats. There's no way to reset weights, reset settings in your tractors.
We put everything together to the best of our knowledge, knowing that we think we're ready. I'll give you an example. I just started my tractor here 2 minutes ago and figured out that we've got a clutch issue. I said, boys, I promised these guys an interview. I'm going to do the interview. We're last class. We got time. We're all right. But we're going to go ahead and take a clutch can apart, pull a clutch apart, and figure out what our issue is right now. We would have not known that until we got to the track. We're last place in the organization, in the run.
Let me dive into that. How did you figure that out on just a startup? Pushing the clutch and roll it back into gear, or how did you deduce that?
So we have a Corsa data logger system on there, and there's enough data in there that gives us clutch readings, drive shaft readings, and everything on that. And all of a sudden, my drive shaft's spinning at idle when it shouldn't be. So it is not all of our classes. I don't care whether it's Joe's, mine, or a Super Farm, or it doesn't matter. We all have extreme data, extreme everything to come out here and give the perfection. And what that perfection does, that gives these fans the best show possible.
Absolutely. So do you have similar data involvement in your Unlimited as well?
Yeah, we all do. You pretty much got to keep track of everything.
So as you test fire, you'll look through that same information to deduce oil temperatures and pressures and all of that equation that leads into it.
Yeah, it's a lot of times, just a lot of basic things, as a driver, what's going on. It sounds like in his case he might have some clutch fingers that are hanging up or something like that. And, I'll come over with a big hammer and I'll wail on it.
Okay, so you're offering to loan him a hammer.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I look at the class run-up, the class lineup tonight is semis on the track one. We're calling the grandstand side is semis, then the Unlimiteds, and then the Pro Stocks, and then the Super Stock Diesels follow as the fourth class on this inside track. And the NTPA lines up tracks and who's on what side. Normally a bit so the show ends at similar time. The far side track is going to have the Superstock Diesel 4x4s, which there's a boatload here, and the modified minis, which that class has grown by leaps and bounds when it comes to quantity of vehicles. So coming back to this side, when we start talking about the semis going first, and we're looking at a track, and we assumably they put the semis in to pound that track in for everybody.
Yeah, they'll roll it in.
Yeah, sort of set it in, especially as an Unlimiteds. You guys are going to go second. What will you look for in the way that track lays up? I talked with some 4x4 Superstock guys, and they talked about riding on top.
Yeah.
How does an Unlimited ride? How does it dig in? How does it bear down?
We'll like our deal is we turn the tires so hard that, we want a track that's pretty well packed in pretty good.
Gotcha.
And the same deal, we'll get up on top and we'll just run with it,
Gotcha. So what are you going to leave behind for him?
Hopefully 2 big holes, and he bounces through it, and he can literally go 7 feet further.
Gotcha. So
Yeah,
it's
we
going to
do
be
work
like
together.
a ricochet effect.
Yeah,
All
he
right.
will ramp through what I do leave.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
you're leaving a ledge, leaving a diving board.
I'd like a 336-foot run and put him out there at 347.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Joe, I'll take that any
Yeah.
day. But
Yeah.
And then we're all heading to Travis's to double check his clutch
that's
after.
right.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll make it happen. But
Yeah.
it's so interesting, and if the fans, as you're out there, and I don't know if they'll get the camera angle, but if you get the opportunity to be at the starting line, when these guys take off, they actually pick that pan of that sled up 2-3 inches, and there will be dirt flying behind that sled 40, 50 foot to get that. Well, that is what does create a problem. So as I'm looking at my class order, pro stocks are going to follow them. They'll get that, the track crew, they're going to get that smooth back out. I'm late in the class. I'm going to have the best run possible. Now, does that mean I'm going to win? Absolutely not. I got 12 other guys that are making sure that I don't win. So, but we just kind of all look at that. You're dealt the cards you were. You'll notice very rarely do they run semis first class.
No.
A lot of times the semis are at the end. So
Yep.
track officials, NTPA, they've got together and said, hey, we think this makes the most sense on this track. That's why I think they changed class order today, because they felt that, once again, we're here to put a show on for the fans.
Absolutely. And I think they're basing that based off of a little bit of information of last year. My understanding is the composition of the track changed a year ago, might have been 2. I've lost track of dates, where they had blended some newer materials with some older materials, and they were looking to get a better compacted track, a less loose track, and what we were carrying in what I call tonnage of weight in front of the buckboard.
Right.
As some guys would bear down in a lower gear and get under RPMs, they're piling dirt, as where guys who are keeping up on RPMs wouldn't be piling dirt as much. And I think that's an effort that Marvin and those guys at the NTPA had decided here today.
Pretty
Chase.
sharp guy for being a roundy round NASCAR man.
Roundy round.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep track, right? You guys keep me on track. Like, I enjoy the visits and I enjoy you guys here. If you had to say your target for this season, and I asked a few of the other guys, trophies or championship?
Oh, championships. I mean, championships. You're sitting here by a guy that's gone 8 times. We won 2, and it's a struggle. It's definitely an endurance. It's a long. You got to be in it for the long haul, and you got to be lucky.
Yeah.
There's a lot of luck that involved into it. And,
Every bit of it.
But you just that's what the top carrot is, and that's where we want to go.
Yeah. We've been 98 national event wins as of right now, and our goal for
Not
the
that you're keeping track.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but we're shooting for that 100.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a special one.
So you run a slim crew, and forgive me, your tractor had a Polar Max decals and logoed up with it, and you have an EMAX sponsorship here,
Yeah.
and your 8-time Joe Ader national championship support vehicle behind us. Tell me about EMAX and how that ties in with Polar Air.
Polar Air EMAX, it's the same company. It's just a different vision. EMAX goes to Home Depot, Lowe's, and that's their air compressor line that they sell there
Okay.
at those stores. So that's a good.
So if I'm looking for an air compressor,
Yep, that's where you can go to pick them up. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, but they've been a good sponsor, been on board a long time, and we're real proud to represent them guys and some peak oil and
Gotcha.
it just.
And so in your class, you guys gained Newfields Ag. In my understanding, they're out of Grand Mound, Iowa, NTPA with a new association, and they're liquid biologicals that aid in plant growth and health. Mm-hmm. And so that adds to your point fund at the end of the year, as well as event purse. As we move forward, and the $39.99, as you can subscribe to Full Pull Live, those funds and some of those funds are currently dedicated to the purse fund at the end of the year. So in growing the sport, how do you think that Full Pull Live will produce a product that will grow our sport?
Well, you guys, you get the promotion out there. You get it where it's fun to watch for the fans back home that can just pop it up. Hey, it's on the the internet, the TV, everything. You're watching it live, and you're getting the live results. You're getting to see that, and it's easy, and it's $39.99 a month, and we're good to go, and we're ready to roll. And so it's just another avenue of entertainment for them fans out there that we can come around to the garage, go up to the local drinking establishment, whatever, sit around and go watch tractor pulling. And that's something that 10, 15 years ago you couldn't. You could maybe watch RFD TV. Them guys did a great job.
Yes.
But, to get the live action, that's what we want as a society. Everything's up first, second. We're not waiting 10 minutes for news. We're getting it within seconds.
And then, as he says, that Full Pull Live on our Full Pull Bets website will be up and operating. You pick your top 2 out of 3 finishers. You can log on there and check stats and updates as well. And this chat will live forever on that social media site. And then that is a heck of a Minnesota bug. Yeah, I'm not from around here. So I'm east of the Mississippi, near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
You're Buffalo, New York.
Yep.
And Travis, where do you hail out of? You're out of Iowa.
East Central Iowa, down in about Cedar Rapids, Iowa
Do you
City.
get bugs that big there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
We're living right on the river bottom. We got skeeters bigger than turkeys.
So in saying river bottom, I was told this is like a bit of a river bottom loam consistency of a track that they're working in. And as we saw earlier, Marvin Epperson, who's the head tech official, it looks like he's working with Doc Christensen, a long time the longtime promoter of this event, and now Julie and Ricky Rose operate this event and run this event and court the sponsorship and bring this to town every year. And my understanding, it's about 31 years worth of bringing this event to this area in Hutchinson, Minnesota.
Yep.
How long have you guys been coming here? Do you remember?
I've been here. This is my 5th time here, so
Okay.
it's all kind of new to me.
Yeah.
But
So you still, and when you look back at your notes, you still think that 5 times here is still fresh notes.
yeah, bringing new dirt in and stuff. But,
Changes.
Yeah, it
Changes
does, but,
consistencies and plans.
You
Okay.
know, one thing with pulling, it's the same for everybody. So if you're later in the class, we do get to watch. It's a little advantage. Sometimes the track will go away on you.
Right.
You know.
So today was 80-plus degrees, sunny overhead skies. We walked out on it just slightly beforehand, before we all jumped on this desk, and still compacted, still have moisture, but you can see it's starting to dry out.
Yeah.
As you go for it, and it's only you and I talking, high hitch, low hitch. Come on. You can just tell me. I'm just here.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I love it.
Right.
He's like,
Yeah.
ain't
Yeah.
happening. You ain't getting
Yeah.
out of me.
Now, I'll
You
give you
ain't
that
getting out of me.
answer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
High as it'll
Always,
go.
he's
High as
getting
it'll go.
Yeah,
all he can
if
get.
Marvin wasn't there, I'd go a little higher, but Marvin won't let me go any
Yeah.
higher. So
She
I
cried.
love it.
He even stands on the roll bar or on the wheelie bars, and he gets
when
them.
he's getting his weights.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I noticed that I think Marvin may have tattoos up his calf leg, up his shin. That way he can walk over and just double check to see if anybody's manipulated their hitch.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to bring the stick over. He just
Oh,
walks
yeah.
by and puts his leg near it. He's got a
Yeah.
tattoo on his
Yeah,
calf.
20.
Yeah, absolutely. 20 inches.
Yeah.
So as we flash forward into the season, and I didn't get to follow up with you, you mentioned trophies and championships. How do you achieve both in an unlimited that is, in my opinion, a wild card?
Yeah. In our game, a lot of luck, like you said.
Okay.
A lot of work. We start out with fresh wrenches at the beginning of the year. 9/16 wrenches will be completely round at the end of the season.
Gotcha.
But
That's a great analogy.
But it's a good commitment. We're looking forward to it. I'm already gearing up for Toma next weekend. And it's just, it's all these shows. You just get such a good excitement trail out of them.
So I know we talked about it earlier with the amount of new viewers we have on Full Pull and Full Pull Live getting all these new viewers and new fans to the sport. So for the people that don't know, that are watching from home, can you guys explain your class a little bit and the different classes you run?
So mine's a super stock diesel. So the main limitations there is 540 cubic inch diesel fuel. Got to burn diesel fuel. And then you can run. We have a little bit of variance in our class based on pressure stages. So we actually take, on my tractor, it's a 3 turbocharger tractor that has 2 pressure stages, from atmospheric to a first pressure stage to the high pressure stage, which goes into the motor. If you actually watch us run and you wonder, why are them diesels, why are they so, why don't you just get on and hit the throttle and go? Okay, we actually have to take the air through the first pressure stage, through the second pressure stage, into the motor, out of the motor. When that exhaust comes out of the motor, that is actually driving the turbo of the second pressure stage. Then when it leaves that turbo, it goes to the first pressure stage to drive them. So if you think about it, I got to get that air to make that whole route before I give it more fuel. So you'll see us come up very slowly. And then once everything's going in motion, then that's where the black smoke. You will also see, man, all that sudden that smoke went gray. We actually, in our class, we will burn approximately 5 gallons of water going down the track. Wow. We'll burn 3 gallons of fuel, on a rough one way or the other of that. So when you see that heavy gray, it's when we've turned the garden hose on. And I've done Joe will be able to attest kind of similar on the water usage. When you sit back and we burn 5 gallons of water in 10 seconds, that's 30 gallons a minute. That's more than your average garden hose can stick, to blow out there. So when you analyze that, but that's where our tires are the same, 30.5, but we have what they call a component chassis. But really in our class, you can also have 3 pressure stages, which is 2 turbos blowing into one, into the motor. That's just a personal preference. We have a great group. The Blagrave boys always run 4 chargers. We run 3 chargers. So if he wins, beats me, he comes over and elbows me and says, hey, you want to borrow an extra charger? It's evidently you need that, right?
Great banter.
And when I win and beat him, then I elbow him and say, I don't know why you got that extra turbocharger and you're just wasting energy.
And
So
that's one of the main differences between a Pro Stock and a Super Stock, correct?
a Pro Stock is a single charger, one charger. They, I think, have like a 6-inch limit. Don't quote me on the exact size, but they have a limit there, one turbocharger. But they also have an intercooler that can cool that air from 600 degrees down to 70 degrees, or don't get me exact on what them numbers are. We don't have an intercooler, so we're just burning atmospheric air. We're trying to cool it down with water and then, of course, use that water. But I think Joe can give you a kind of an idea of how much fuel he uses that'll blow your mind also.
So unlimited modifieds, like what I run, 8,000 pounds, fairly simple. All the safety rules, all the safety specs is what Travis would have, other than run what you brung, hope you brung enough. And that is, if you're in Europe, you could run helicopter engines, Allison aircrafts, whatever. Here in the States, I run 4 Chrysler Hemis with 1871 blowers. They produce about 55 to 60 pounds of boost, and just makes a lot of torque. I got screw chargers, which is a great combination. They make about 39 to 4,000 horse apiece. We make about 33, 34. And then you got the regular Adam Bauer 1471 blower, but 5 engines on their tractors. So, it's a really awesome class. It will burn in about 8 seconds. We'll be up about 23 to 24 gallon of alcohol.
Wow, that's incredible. I know a lot of people have questions as well about how you get all those 4 engines connected into one drive shaft.
Yeah, it's just 2 gearboxes that bring everything together, and you'll see motors sideways and motors facing forward and backwards and that. It's just everybody's got theories and ideas on stuff, I built 93 chassis over the years.
Wow.
For competitors and myself, my whole racing career. And, we've had motors mounted everywhere and super stocks, component chassis, and all that stuff we built over the years. So it's been an awesome road to run down and listen to everybody's ideas and, hey, let's try it, And
yeah.
It all comes down to you got to have good tires, your horsepower to match your gear, and spot the sled right and get down the track.
Yep.
Do you get a chance do you ever change your gearing throughout the season? Like if you find power, you may, or you know a track, you may change a gear?
We'll be changing already for tonight.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
What is the timing on that? Like, is it an hour job?
It's we're looking at probably close to about a 3-minute job.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Quick
So,
change.
Copy that. And do you run a multi-gear setup, or do you run a single gear
so
setup?
we run a Profab transmission, so
Okay.
all I got to do is grab a different lever, and I can switch gears right there in an instant. But there is, like Joe had pointed out, there is so many varieties in our class. I got 3 or 4 turbochargers. We got guys that run reverse or straight, so they have to do similar to Joe to change their gears instead of a transmission. That's what I love about my class, and I know Joe loves about his, is we're not all just the exact same. We can go out, stay within the rules, but we can have our own variation and that matches our driving style. And sometimes that works really good here at Hutchinson, Minnesota, but it might be also awesome at Chapel Hill, Tennessee.
Right.
So it's not the perfect everywhere. We have to adjust, learn our tractor, learn our tires, and try to match it to the dirt the best we can.
So as we look forward into the season, and Toma's already, coming up into, next week, will you guys tear your stuff down here, or will you move up to Toma and go through and go through your equipment up there when you get there?
We'll wait. I wait till I get there.
You'll hustle up there?
Yeah, hustle up there. We'll leave out of here yet tomorrow night after the show and start Sunday already preparing and fly home, fly back, and let's go.
Ditch your truck up there, get your work done, sell some air compressors.
Yeah, there you go.
And then come on back down.
Yeah.
Travis, in your regular day job, you own a plumbing fixture company.
Plumbing and heating company. Plumbing, air conditioning, heating. I also have an appliance and mattress store. So do that and a bunch of commercial rentals, and that really keeps me busy. So we're 4.5 hours from home. So from here, we'll leave Sunday morning, go home, load up. Hopefully, we don't have nothing catastrophic. Just do some routine maintenance. I have 12 valves to adjust. Yeah. Joe here's got just a few more to run through there. But we'll run through, do our maintenance, and check our clutch, do all that kind of. We all do similar maintenance as long as nothing's catastrophically wrong, and then head for Tomah, Wisconsin, and start over, do it all over again.
Simple as that. How often do you change the oil in them engines?
We'll hit every weekend. We'll change the oil.
So it'll get 2 runs.
Yeah.
Presumably,
yeah.
2 runs on them,
yeah.
and then you change oil.
Every run on our tractor between valve adjustment, oil changes, check-in maintenance, and believe it or not, our tractor, we have to sharpen the tires every pass.
Okay.
It's just part of our deal to stay ahead of it, and part of our,
That's part of your program. This is you have a checklist. Yeah. Do you have a punch list, or do you guys memorize it?
No, it's
at this time of year.
I just know what's going on. So, but that's 6.5, 7 hours. And,
the turnaround.
If we got to change motors out, in the ceiling comes out a motor. So
I noticed that we walked by because I was trying to get a hold of you because I wanted to be a part of the show today. I noticed up in you had two, you had a couple engines sitting up on the lift in the back.
Yeah,
hopefully they never see the light of day all season, right?
We've had years you don't ever bring them around, and
that's all right too.
Last year you brought 2 of them out, so it's just it's racing, it's the way it is, but I wouldn't have this any other way.
Well, I'm glad to have you all both on. Is there anything I missed that you guys think that I'm overlooking, or something that you guys had on your mind?
It's a great opportunity, and this is a great deal, and everybody working hard to put on a great show here.
And fans, one other thing I'll throw out there is fans, you guys are watching on live stream, then you're going to get hooked, and you're like, we want to go to an event. Pick out an event. The one thing about NTPA and tractor pulling, our pits are free to get in. Mm-hmm. And all of our drivers, I don't care if you run into Joe, you run into me in there, and you're looking at our tractor, you got a question? Ask. We love it. We love questions. We love explaining to people what we do, because it's not normal.
No.
It's not normal, and
we're not normal people.
No, we're not normal
and that's the good part, right? We're all conversationalists. Yeah. What I noticed here is the welcoming hand of walking around an open pit area, that you're valuing your ticket purchase. If you live an hour and a half from here tonight, you can still get here.
Yep.
If you live 3 hours away, plan for tomorrow. The open pit area, the open access, and that's how we saw your engine sitting up on top, sitting just like a bird in a nest. It's ready to go.
Ready.
As Chase looked around, and Chase coming out of Western Pennsylvania, his interaction, we don't have an open pit. We pay a pit pass in our area. And some of that has to do with insurance coverages, and NTPA's insurance coverages cover pit access for these fans. So if you have time to come out, drop your money, drop your ticket. We're in Hutchinson, Minnesota. This is the Power Pool Nationals. You can look it up on the website, but you can also follow along on Full Pool Live. And Full Pool Live every week we have exclusive content, HD viewing for use, Fuel Pool. You'll be able to look it up. It's archived content, archived information. This will be up for the rest of your life, so glad we didn't say anything stupid this time, but I want to have you back later this season. But you know what? I want to tease on later this season. I want to hear you guys talk us through a hook as you're hooking. Would you be interested in that if we mic'd you up? We might be able to take it back and edit it. Let's just maybe we'll do it that way, but I'd really love to hit it live if you guys are interested.
Yeah.
I think what goes through your mind would be interesting to the viewers at home.
Yeah, and it would be very interesting, because I used to actually tell this story as I came from a super farm pulling tractor that had, I'm just going to use the number, 1,500 horsepower 12 years ago, whatever that number was, to a super stock diesel that had 3,500 horsepower back then, and had no idea. I've told this story many times. We built a tractor, rolled it outside, and said, how do we start this? Me and my best friend mechanic, Denny Healy's like, anything special we should do here? And I'm like, well, let's just go for it. When I roll up to the sled, I actually have a conversation with myself inside of my helmet. Check this. Check the shifter. Check
pretty
this.
Interesting. I've heard part of it.
And there's times that
it's not
all
voice.
good. You would have to edit some of it, but it is for the fan and viewer. There's a lot of things that go through our head. I mean, we have dashes and everything, and I don't know how Joe is looking at his dash and RPM, but I don't even know if there's anything on my dash when I'm going down the track, because I'm like looking at every direction.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I'd like to thank Chase for being here. Travis, thank you for being here in the Bone Twister. Joe Ader, thank you for coming in the EMAX Unlimited. Tune in live. You got 2 hours. You can purchase the web stream. You could also still show up. We thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys very much. Thanks to Ricky Rose and Julie here at the Power Pool Nationals in Hutchinson, Minnesota. And we'll see you guys in about 2 hours.